Hey there YouTube, this is Aisha and this is going to be my top favorite books of 2014. I have quite a few books. A lot of them are actually on ebook form, and this is when I realized that this year 90% of the books I read are ebooks. Holy crap. I have quite a few physical books to read, so 2015, that's a resolution. So I don't have them in any particular order. I do have a few that are like the top. But like I said, I didn't rank them 1 to 14. I just absolutely loved these books throughout the year, and I thought I would share with you. So one of my favorites, I'm going to do new adult, was Undone by Shannon Richard. And this was a beginning, I think this was book 2 in the series. I went ahead and downloaded the others, but I haven't had a chance to read them because I'm trying to finish reading a bunch of other stuff. But I loved her writing. I loved the characters. I loved the fact that they were raw. They were very real. You could feel like you understood them. They weren't crazy beyond normal human crazy. And, you know, I really enjoyed reading her writing. One of my other favorite ones, I know I talked about this, is one of the first reviews I ever did on this channel. And that is One Week Girlfriend, as well as One Week Boyfriend by Monica Murphy. I also read the third book, and I hated the third book, but I absolutely loved the first two. I loved reading their story, and I loved, like, oh my gosh, I absolutely loved this story. I don't know why. I was not a fan of the rest of the series. Actually, I know why. I didn't like the character, the third character. I thought 90% of her problems were self-created, and I really liked the fact that these two books dealt with a really tough subject and gave it a flip and worked with two really broken but struggling to be strong characters, and I really loved that. Another series that I loved to death is Erin McCarthy's True Believer series, and if I had to pick a top set of books, it would most definitely be the True Believer series, with Sweet being my all-time favorite. Out of the entire year, Sweet was one of my favorite books the entire year. I reread it every time I got into a slump. When I was struggling with my slump, I reread the True Believer series, and it kind of helped bring me out of that slump where I was like hating books. But I really enjoyed this series, and I really love Erin McCarthy's writing. I've been a fan of hers for many, many years, since she wrote the book Smart Mouth and The Pregnancy Test, like way old. But I really loved her characters. I really loved Riley in here because Riley was so real, and Riley's the kind of guy I would get to know, like I would hang out with. The two of them had such a potty mouth, and you didn't expect it because she doesn't look like the kind of potty mouth girl, but the two of them together were hilarious. I loved them. My absolute favorite other book of the year, it was Trust. I love this entire series, and I've been reading it since it started coming out, so it's been 2 years now. And this is by Sherry Hayes. I absolutely love Nathan, and I love this. And Anna, oh my gosh, this series is amazing. It brings tears to your eyes. It makes you hate people, makes you love people. Just, wait, did I say Nathan? I mean Steve. Stephen. Oh my god, wrong book. I absolutely, too many books read this year. I read 113 books this year, and out of the 113, I absolutely loved Trust and Sweet. Those are like my two favorites, but I have others that I'm a favorite fan of. I didn't realize I only started reading the Marked Men series this year, and if I had to pick one, I absolutely loved Rome. I thought I'd been reading this for far longer than I have been, but I've only been I've read Rome. I read Rule at the beginning of January, and I read Rome in like February. It felt like longer. But I absolutely love that series. I've completely caught up on the series. I have Rowdy. I love the series. I read it in ebook form and then picked up physical copies. Jay Crownover's writing is so amazing, and her characters just come through as people I personally would meet and hang out with. And that's kind of what I look for in books. Like, would these people be people I would actually give a damn about? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? But I always love Jay's books. Another book, and when I say he ran for my heart this year, totally ran for my heart, and that is Better When He's Bad by Jay Crownover. And so if I had to rank them, it would be Bax and Rome together, and then Rule and Nash, and then Rowdy, and then Jet. Jet gets the short end of the stick. Jet was a really nice guy, but he wasn't my favorite guy. And like I said, Rome is up there, and Bax is right next to him. And the king of them all is Riley from Sweet, by Erin McCarthy. But I absolutely loved these series, and I have the books, so I should get up and show them to you. So as I said, Rome would be my absolute favorite out of this entire series by Jay Crownover, followed by Rule and Nash together. They'd be on the same page. And then I don't actually physically own Jet. I own it as an ebook. But Bax from Better When He's Bad is my absolute favorite out of Jay Crownover's writing. Her books are so good, and I really, really love Bax. Like, how raw, how real, how crazy he is, like how gritty he is, and how gritty his world is. He doesn't live in a perfect world. He has issues. His friends have issues. His family has issues. And I really enjoyed reading that, particularly because Jay just pulls you in. Another series that I read and I started this year and I'm absolutely loving is the Pushing the Limits series by Katie McGarry, and I absolutely love Pushing the Limits. I love Echo. Her name is just so awesome. But I really, really, really loved Echo in this, and I loved her, who's her protagonist? Noah. Echo and Noah. And I absolutely loved the way they interacted, and I loved that Noah was not like totally head over heels in love with her the second he met her. He was a bit of a jackass, and it made her learn to grow out of being her quiet personality self, and the two of them together were just so good. I also read and liked Dare You To, but I didn't love it as much as I loved Crash Into You, and I absolutely loved this character. Isaiah to me reminded me of a young Riley / Bax. Like, just love him. Really, really love him. He really reminded me of a mix between Bax from Better When He's Bad and Riley from Sweet by Erin McCarthy, and I really enjoyed reading his character. He was very fun to read, and very, like, the kind of guy, like, I wish I'd met in high school. Like, he was really, really cool. Really wish I'd met an Isaiah in high school. That would have been cool. Another book that I absolutely love, as I said, I read a lot of ebooks, is Better When He's Broken. Best Kind of Broken by Chalissa Fine. And this is book 2 in the series. And I've actually read all 3 books in the series. And the first one is better. Then I read the second one, which is, or maybe this is the first one. No, this is the second one. This is Perfect Kind of Trouble. And I absolutely loved this series. You're going to see these books on my 2015 Most Anticipated because they come out in paperback January, February, and March. And I cannot wait. The first one in January, second one in February, and the third one in March. And the third one I have an ebook as well, but I haven't finished reading it. I just don't want to let go. Okay? I just don't want to let go. I always take time to read my books. My all-time favorite adult books this year was Sex and the Single Vampire by Robin Covington. I really enjoyed her writing this year. I've read quite a few of her books now, and this is one of my favorite ones. And I really, really love that Robin happens to be an author of color, and that she is so awesome that she writes characters of color and characters not of color. And that she's her characters are dynamic, and they are complex, and they're crazy, and they're funny, and they're witty. I just really, really love it. Another of my all-time favorites of the year is an adult book. And this is Thornjack, and this is by Catherine Horber. She is why did I say it like that? She is a debut author, and this is her first book in her series. And I am looking forward to the second book. Like, I absolutely love it. I enjoyed this book. I took forever to read it because I didn't want to let it go, and I absolutely loved all the characters and the craziness that was developing and all the fadas and all the crazy people. And I was super pumped to turn around after joining up with her website, because I always join up the author's website, and have a autographed copy show up in the mail, because I won her email subscription thing, and I just like, I think I cried. I might have cried. But I'm like, the book cover feels so good. She's been doing snippets of the second book in her email subscription, and I'm just like dying to read the second book. I am so excited. It comes out sometime in 2015. I think she'd said June. But if, you know, you want to send me an ARC, I won't complain. But I absolutely love this book, and I really enjoyed her writing. I love the fadas. I love the story. I think there's going to be at least 7 books, because there's 7 houses that she mentions a couple of different times, and even in the email she mentions 7 different houses. And I cannot wait. Like, it left on a cliffhanger that like throws you, and you're like, wait, what? Oh my god. So I am really looking forward to catching up on the rest of the characters and seeing where Catherine takes us in this. And there are a lot of books that aren't on here that I absolutely love. And those are my new adult / young adult books that I read this year that I absolutely love. I actually found that I didn't have as much adult romance on here as I thought, and I read way too much young adult this year and new adult, considering I'm not a YA reader. But yeah, that's my list. Those are my favorite books of the year. There's a ton of books that could have been on this list, because I read quite a few really good books this year, and I DNF'd a few books this year, and I hated some books this year. But my list of absolute favorite books was very small compared to the 113 books I read. I'm really glad to be sharing this with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Leave it in the comments. Tell me what your top favorite books of the year have been, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!